Welcome to Barksville, a charming town where the Cockerspaniel gentry and the alley cats lead their contrasting lives. Here, every tail wag and whisker twitch tells a story of tradition and survival. In the quaint, ivy-draped town of Barksville, the Cockerspaniel gentry ruled the manicured lawns and garden parties with wagging tails and perfectly parted fur. These blue-blooded barkers considered themselves the gatekeepers of taste, tradition, and proper tail etiquette. On the other side of the tracks, literally just past the recycling bins and under a noble graffiti-tagged dumpster, the alley cats thrived in organized chaos. Scrappy, sassy, and proud of their street smarts, the alley cats lived by one motto: survive first, nap later. For generations, the Cockerspaniel gentry had reassured the alley cats, with polished condescension and a whiff of kibble breath, that their decision to remain unschooled in formal matters was actually the wise choice. Why clutter your pretty little whiskers with books? The spaniels would bark over scones. Degrees? Please, you can't eat a diploma. Professor Whiskerstein embarked on a grand academic journey, determined to prove that cats could excel in the scholarly world. He spent countless nights reading, researching, and writing. But despite his relentless efforts, the academic world was not kind to him. His peers scoffed, his theories were dismissed, and his dreams, well, they began to crumble. Some cats, however, grew curious. One ambitious feline named Professor Whiskerstein enrolled in the prestigious Dogwood Academy. He wore a tweed collar, quoted Nietzsche, and even tried to master tail wagging. Results were mixed. He thought maybe, just maybe, there was room at the table for a scholarly cat. Unfortunately, Whiskerstein's thesis, The Inherent Bias of Kibble Distribution in Canine Institutions, was not well received. The Cockerspaniels barked in outrage. This is an attack on our biscuit-based values. Professor Whiskerstein was promptly expelled and ceremonially chased off campus by a herd of offended poodles. Back in the alley, however, it was a full-blown celebration. Tuna tins were popped, garbage lids were drummed, and sardine-scented fireworks lit the sky. The alley cats, resilient as ever, danced beneath the moonlight with smug satisfaction. They hadn't needed degrees, decorum, or doggy approval. They thrived by knowing their place, on rooftops, in shadows, and occasionally in your favorite laundry basket. Let the spaniels have their fancy schools, purred old Tabby Lou. We've got instinct, attitude, and 9 lives. That's at least 6 more than tenure gives you. Back in the alley, however, it was a full-blown celebration. Tuna tins were popped, garbage lids were drummed, and sardine-scented fireworks lit the sky.